Let's start Chazaring Tamid, right where the Masechta started. Bishloishim Ekoimos in the Beis Hamikdash, where the Kahanim guarded. Beis Atinas and Beis Hanitzitz had 2 floors each, we know. The Kahanim above and the Leviim below. The Beis HaMoiked was domed with 2 doors, explains the Gemara. Echad Pesuach Lechil, Ve'echad Pesuach La'azara. Ziknei Bezdin slept on the Roivdim, while on the floor were the Pirkei Kahuna. They slept near their clothes, not to be nena from the Big Day Kahuna. Anyone sleeping on the job couldn't be singed by the Ish Harabayas, who would do the Trumas Hadeshen, was chosen by a pious. Mi Shahaya Roitza Litroim originally would race to the top, but once Bezdin saw the Esakana, they made this practice stop. 5 Leviim guarded the Sharei Harabayas, and 4 at its corners Bifnim. 5 Bisharei Azara, and 4 on its corners, not from within. 1 guarded the Lishkas HaKorban, and 1 Belishkas HaParoiches. Bechaf Aleph Mekaimois, including Achoirei Beis HaKaporis, guided by an Or Avuka. 2 groups of Kahanim would appear to check if all was in order while he washed from the Kir. A machta full of gacheles down the kevesh as he turned to the other ruach to place it b'makam adeshen while the Kahanim cleared the tapuach. The marachos could be built from assorted woods. Besides from geffen and zayis, all types were good because of Kitri and Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. With those, we take no chances. With Te'ena, Egos, and Eitz Shemen, we loaded their branches. The Maracha Gedola in the southeast, and the Maracha Shnia position southwest, to use for the Ketores every day, and for the Shnei Bazichin on the day of rest. They rearranged the Imurim that remained overnight. Now everything was ready for the Maracha to light. The Korban Tamid was fed in a cup made of gold. The Pareches was so thick, it took 300 Kahanim to hold. Details of the Tapuach and Geffen Hazav. At times a Guzma is coming. Lashon Havai, B'divrei Torah, Nevi'im, V'chachamim. Hapais Hasheni for the Shchita and Zrika of the Tamid, as detailed in the Torah. Mimedashin Mizbeach HaPnimi, Mimedashin Es HaManoira, Mimala Ivarim Lekevesh, Haroish and Yadayim. A total of 13 Kahanim, including for Chavitim and Yayin. To the Beis HaMoiked they went for a tleh, for selection. From the Lishkas HaTloim, we did a final bikur inspection of the rooms for chaisamais and a warm fire for situations, while the final lishka was used for lechem aponim preparations. To the mizbeach hapnimi, through the pishpish he would scuttle to the ta and the heichal until he reached the shar hagadol. In Yerichai they would hear when the gates would open, and the sound of the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur when the Shem was spoken. The Kol Magrefa and Ben Arza on the cymbals they would hear. The Chalil and Gvini and the pulley of the Kir. The Kol Shofar and the Leviim. In Yerichai they could tell. The Reyach HaKetoires in Yerichai they would smell. Dishon Mizbeach HaPnimi, with the tani, a basket. Dishon Menorah, to another kohen, they would task it. The Tamid Shel Shacha was shechted on the western wing, on the second row. For the Tamid Sheben Abayim, on the eastern side, they would go. The Kabbalah and Halacha followed the Shita. Spritzing Shnayim Shteim Arba, accomplish the Zrika onto the Yisoid. They then poured the shirayim as the Tamid was led to the base Hamid skinning on hooks. And then on tables, he starts cutting and chopping and washing some parts, lungs and ribs, the liver, spine, and spleen, the heart and the kidneys, and the intestines he would clean. With the animal dismembered and the parts now in our possession, 9 Kohanim would line up and begin the procession, leaving the parts on the kevesh. Next, what he does is the reading of Kriya Shema in the Lishkas Hagozis. 8 marble shulchanos by the base Hamid V'chaim kept things cool and damp. Single tables of marble and silver west of the ramp. 2 in the ulam, 1 each of silver and gold, together with the Shulchan Hazav, 13 Shulchanos all told. 10 questions to the Ziknei HaNegev that Alexandros Mukden was demanding. Many explanations are offered for a deeper understanding. Is east to west a greater distance, or heaven to earth? Was Ar initially created, or did Choshech come first? Who is considered an Ashir, a Gibor, or wealthy? How should one live for a life that is lengthy? Should one rather live on dry land? Is it better on a ship? And the long story and details of the African trip, as Seres HaDibris and Kriya Shema, along with its brachos. The Birchas Kahanim was recited, Lichol HaPachos. On Shabbat, the Mishmar HaYotzi would add to the Mishmar that was arriving a bracha for Ava ve'Achva, for the peace that they were striving. Chadoshim L'Ktores, as we neared the final daf, one kohen held the machta, another kohen held the kaf, the gecholim to be followed by the ketores, as we learned, spread from the back to the front, careful not to be burned. The Migdash, they said 3 brachos. In the Medina, only 1. In the Migdash, they pronounced a shame. Outside, this was not done. The Medina, until their shoulders, Kahanim noisin es yedehem. Uva Migdash, the Kahanim head yoitis would lift, al gav rashehem, nisu chayayin, after the hakrovos ha'evorim. The Kahanim standing on the Karen, holding the Sudarim. The blowing of Chatzotfers, they would sound a tkiya, the cymbals would bang, and the Leviim would sing Shira. Lashem ha'aretz, followed by Gadol Hashem. And Elokim Nitzov on Yom Shlishi, Kel Nekamos on the next day, and Harninu Elokim on Yom Chamishi. On Erev Shabbos, Hashem Malach, sung for everyone to hear. On Shabbos Kodesh, the Leviim would sing Mizmor Shir. Hadron Alach Mesechtes Tamid, Bahadra Chalon. Lo Sishishi Minach Tamid, Lo Sishishi Minon. Zeu Seider HaTamid, La Voidas, Beis Elokeinu, Yiratzoin Shibana Beis HaMikdash, Bimheira V'yameinu.